Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Hold Your Mic. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Ian Sherman. Brother, how are you
mic
doing?
Are we holding, man? We holding the mic, not
the
your
mic.
mic.
Well, is it my? Did I say my mic? Did I say my
you
mic?
Holding your mic? We holding the mic.
Oh, my bad.
This is the mic. All right.
Did I really say that?
Hey man, play. Hey ref, play that.
Somebody
back.
play that back. Oh my god, that's funny.
Hey, I'm just gonna do this. Pass the mic.
Yeah, we're passing the mic. Yeah, maybe that's what it should have been.
Pass the mic, son. Now, welcome to Hold the Mic.
Yeah,
Ryan and Ian. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. We actually have an awesome surprise for you. If you watched a month or so or two ago, we had Ian's brother, Robbie Sherman, on, and he is coming back on the show with us today to talk about some things. We have a story that he's got on his chest right now that we're going to address. So without further ado, Rob, how you doing, brother? Yay!
Hello, happy Friday, everyone. I'm doing great. I had a great week. Super excited about being back.
I cannot believe it took Diddy and all that baby oil to get Rob back on the TV show, man.
I needed some lube to get in, man. It always takes lube. You know, you did not provide it prior to, and here we are today.
Oh man, they out of stock. All right, CVS out of stock.
Robbie was going from store to store in New York City trying to find lube, and he couldn't find any. And finally,
you talk about it.
They sent him to Diddy's penthouse, and there were the boxes.
He was out of town. Apparently, he was taken into custody. So
we are moving weight.
Did you see that he was sitting out?
Apparently.
He was sunning out at Central Park before they picked him up.
Was he really?
The day before.
Was it the day before? I thought it was the same day. My bad.
Central Park posted up doing his thing, but then and people have photos of that. But now they have zero photos of him being literally arrested, brought to court, in court. My man, I'm sorry to tell you guys, he's parked up right down the street from me. Like the prison that he's at is literally a 5-minute drive from where I live, and it cracks me up.
On the east side, like that?
Right over here on the waterfront. It's right on the waterfront.
Not where you work, but your home in Red Hook.
Home.
Oh,
shit. In Brooklyn.
Because if he was on the east side in the 70s, it would be a nice place to be.
Ain't no prisons on the Upper East Side, man. They the Jefferson.
But in Red Hook, baby, that is not safe, baby.
Man, you're getting all sorts of love in the comments, Robbie.
Let me tell you. Hi, everyone.
A lot of love, man.
I'm telling you, Diddy will get all the dick he wants now.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Dude.
Deep Dickens. All right, that's his new name.
Somebody said, and this was not me. This was not me. Somebody said, Diddy ain't going to prison. Prison's coming to Diddy.
I
was like, God,
I mean, like, think about it. Really think about it. Like, do you think Suge Knight is a bitch where he is right now?
Not even at 60, bro.
No?
Not even at 60.
I mean, do you think, like, all that money from outside is helping him inside prison?
I don't think now. I think back in the day, yeah, I think the money bought him protection, but now I don't think he has. I don't think he has those resources anymore.
Right. So don't you think like he's kind of like somebody's bitch down the road? Like he only so protected because of like the clout, the fame, the wealth, the business behind the business he was in. Right. Like Diddy's gonna be someone's major bitch.
Oh,
because he's a short guy.
Well, somebody said it. He's on. They've got him on watch right now to make sure he doesn't hurt himself.
Oh, just like Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Just like
totally. Which failed. Which didn't work out.
And can I just ask you guys this? Like, as I'm hearing this and they're releasing the information and the documents are being unsealed, doesn't Diddy sound like the Black Epstein?
No, he
was
literally,
but in the entertainment world,
it's like
I heard all this shit for years. My 20 plus years in the entertainment world in Black Hollywood, even let me tell you, like shit was talked about just like it was with Michael, but nobody did anything. And I have stories about Michael because his lawyer and I were old friends long before his lawyer died.
These are stories that Ian doesn't even know. I can tell by the face.
I'm sitting here like Michael.
We Jackson. All know.
You better leave Michael out of this. You better leave Michael Jordan. You better leave.
That. No. Listen,
no, that's MJ. Leave. That's MJ.
If you stand up for a pedophile, that's on you. All right. Let me tell you.
Look, You can talk about R. Kelly all you want. You leave Michael alone, all right? You leave Michael alone. That's all I'm gonna say to you right now. About to be Family Feud on this episode.
That's fine with me. I'm standing for the children, and I think the people will too.
Hey, man, I don't know. I didn't see any cases. That's all.
And
I'm
I don't
saying.
even have
Ain't
children.
no
You know what I mean? I love the babies.
He loves the babies.
Hey.
I love the babies.
Just don't say it like that, because
Macaulay
if Michael was
Culkin
saying
has-
that, we'd all be questioning things.
Home Alone has said nothing but nice things about MJ.
Matter of fact, Michael did say that. And it started
I mean,
some
okay,
shit.
I will say he was the most famous, but there was another famous guy who did say something about him, and it's all in public record now. It's all in public record. Yeah, and way more people said the opposite from what
I'm gonna stay with current events.
Either way, we got Diddy dragging a woman through a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's not even talking about like Usher or all the other musical contracts from the 90s.
What about the
2000?
Justin Bieber stuff, dude? So apparently, Justin Bieber at one point, Usher got like some type of custodianship.
That's how Bieber got started.
And
at
custody
age 12,
of him.
YouTube.
And right after that happened, Usher sent him to spend time with Diddy.
Yeah. Yep.
And people have been supposedly trying to keep him away from Diddy, and Usher made that connection apparently. You know. We'll see what else comes out.
Wait, what are we saying? Are we saying that like Bieber is also like a sexual predator, or he was a victim?
Lamb sent to the
total. Yeah. That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
And what I understand how it works, that wouldn't be surprising at all whatsoever.
Well, right now the security guard for Diddy has posted. Y'all didn't believe this shit when a couple years ago, but I got some video of Meek Mill's.
That's my boy Carl. What's up, Carl?
On, Carl?
I see you, buddy. This is the dude I talk to every single day. Next to Ian, this is the dude I talk to every day.
What's good, Carl?
So, it's definitely crazy. These stories that are coming out. But
they've been coming out for years, though. This is
sorry, Ian. Yeah, you were talking about Bodyguard. My bad. Go ahead.
So his bodyguard has recordings of Meek Mill's going to Pound Town with Diddy behind closed doors. And so he released the footage, as in the audio, to his social media. And he said, y'all didn't want to believe me when I was saying this years ago. He goes, but now it all makes sense. And he played it. And them cakes was getting clapped. I'm telling you right now.
Is Meek gay? I didn't know Meek was gay.
It's DL in the black community, Rob. That's what's happening.
Well, if Meek is coming out with the information and sending it out, that means he wants the information to be known, right?
I said Diddy's security.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Meek.
Putting people on blast. He recorded Diddy, and he's putting things out there, and it's like.
Listen, man, let me just say something.
It's getting heavy.
This has been like a big thing for the black community for many years. All right, and especially when like the conversation came up pretty heavily when Frank Ocean came out, right? Because when he first started, and he was openly gay, but not at first, right? And if you kind of remember, it was like the like 2010s area, right? And he had this bomb ass album, but the entire rap community like vehemently were against him. And even when he was at the award shows, the BET award show, MTV award shows, whatever they were, all the music award shows, and he was winning everything, the rap community was so in public rude to him, called him all these names, said all this shit. And at the same time, you have these super famous black comedians and people out in Black Hollywood saying, you guys, even in the rap community, all of you are liars. All of you are the same. I mean, even, our dear friend Patrick Ian Polk has many times brought this up in his incredible LGBTQ rights films that have been going on since the start of his career, right, in the mid-90s. He has brought this up and how it is such an ongoing, consistent bullshit situation, just as deep as it is in South America, right, where it's the machismo, masculine male, everything has to be quiet, but at the same time, because no one is talking about it, nobody's protected, now all of a sudden all these straight dudes have HIV and now giving it to their wives because if you use a condom, that means you know about it. That means you're gay. If you are bottoming, like there's so many things about it that is just so stupid. Like physically, just what's it called? Intelligently, just ignorant shit that we know about health, science, and sex today. They still follow it. They still do this shit. Okay, it's different now because we have pills that we take regularly. Truvada, before Truvada was the original. Either way, but it prevents you from catching HIV.
That's a preventative, right?
It's a preventative. Exactly.
Okay.
So things have completely changed now, right? Especially the conversation, especially the way that we think about everything in today's time.
Do you know what the efficacy rate of that is?
Go ahead.
Just wondering. No, I'm just asking you. Do you happen to know what the efficacy rate of that is?
Of the pill?
Yeah.
100%. If you're taking the pill, you will not catch HIV if you take it every day.
And you're talking about PrEP.
I'm on Truvada. Now it's so advanced that they give it to you in a shot, like you would allergy shots or the flu shot.
Like a flu shot.
Once every 2 months, which I'm not on that one yet. I just take Descovy, which you see the commercials if you watch any like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, all of these Truvada commercials are on regularly.
Yeah.
In fact, you would see like
and it's Truvada
Tucker Carlson making fun of it.
I've seen those 100 times. How did I not realize that that's what it really was?
And because it targets specifically the brown, black, LGBTQ community that's kind of like not so in the know. And you see a lot of, when you live in a city like New York City, and you have everybody all in one small island, and you see how white people or whites in the gay community are 100% not only in the know, but are quickly not just catching up, but they have it. It's almost like the new iPhone, right? Everybody with money and everybody that is friends with those with money have access to the knowledge and get it immediately, especially in the gay community where it's like, oh shit, if I'm on this, I can have free gay sex without condoms and not worry about anything except for what you do have to worry about, which is another conversation, right? All the other STDs that have become super STDs because you can't, right? Which is crazy, like always protect yourself is the goal. But
yes, always.
So then the black and brown community who aren't in the know and kind of feel like they have to, maybe that they don't have health insurance, which would, PrEP is free. It was PrEP. The original one's called PrEP, PrEP. Now it's Descovy.
It's free?
PrEP. It's free. It is free. It is insane to me that, at least in New York City, it's free. All right. But
this is one of the most liberal places.
In the comment sections, because I see a couple people are on PrEP as well. Tell us, is it free where you're at as well? I'm really interested in that now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the comments. Yeah.
Listen, it should be given to everybody,
like
the flu shot. Free. It should be thrown into the water of Africa. It should be goddamn free. All right. They have coupons in the city because the city is amazing when it comes to healthcare. Bizarrely enough, right? No matter what, even if you can't afford it, you will be able to get the care and help you need through the state, which is incredibly wealthy. I've had many, many friends of mine, both primary care doctors who became friends later on after being my doctor, or just doctor friends aside from actually being my personal primary care.
So
have said that the city has so much money that it would be ridiculous if you go to one of these many free sexual STI centers, which are provided by the state of health, of the federal state of health. All right. Yeah. So basically, is it the CDC? Whoever runs the national government state of health. They're given a lot of money. Everyone says, don't worry about it. Just walk in. Don't show insurance. We have so much money that.
So Florida,
we don't even know what to do with it.
Juan over here. What up, Juan?
Yeah.
He said that Florida it's not free, but they have money to bus people and to earn books, but they don't have money to take care of their own.
Tell them, Ian.
So here we are, especially with the travesties of was it Posh? What was the nightclub? I'm so sorry.
Posh.
Yeah.
Posh.
Not Posh. I'm sorry.
No,
it wasn't Posh.
Pulse
is in New York.
Pulse nightclub.
In Orlando. They have all this room to do all this, and it's like
I'll take it a step further, Ian. What about all these pro-life people? How
Right.
you can't get much pro-life than giving people pills that might save
Protecting
their
their
lives.
lives.
Yeah, protecting lives.
But then,
Yeah.
Ryan, you'd have to ask them to care about like orphans
Other
or all the
people.
babies that they
Or
want to
school
save, but
shootings.
then
I
have
mean,
no
what are we
money
talking
or
here?
even parents to care for them. It's
Yeah.
it's such a stupid conversation. It's one that I've had to hear my whole life, but then also listen to my mother complain about how she'd fought for all this shit and still 50, 60 years later fighting for the same goddamn shit. Hey, Eno,
There's our mascot.
little monkey. Boy, you're getting more white hair than me. Shit.
Hey, you're getting old, brother.
All of
Him
us.
and I are growing. Him and I are doing the same thing.
Well, so let's pivot that to
Yeah.
you know, we're talking about the unfortunate loss of life here, and you know, there's a lot of unfortunate life being lost around the globe right now, and then there's some that people losing their life that might be better
It's
off.
preventable.
Yeah, no, this one shouldn't have been preventable. Israel says it killed top Hezbollah commander in Beirut strike on Friday.
Right.
Israel launched another major attack on Hezbollah on Friday with a strike in the Lebanese capital that it said killed one of the militant group's top commanders as the risks rise of a broader conflict between the longtime adversaries. The Israeli military said its airstrike had killed Ibrahim Agil, I'm sure I butchered that, who it said had run Hezbollah's operations team and his Radwan special forces, and around 10 other senior commanders who had gathered underground in Beirut's southern suburbs. So, Ian, what do you think about that, brother?
It's been a week.
Since that happened?
It's been a Monday.
Oh,
Was the
I
pager.
got you.
Yeah.
Tuesday was the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Wednesday was the first airstrike, followed by. Am I saying that wrong? Was Tuesday the first? Was Tuesday Tuesday was the walkie.
The pagers.
The
Tuesday was
pagers,
the
the
pager.
beepers.
Yeah, the pagers.
Beepers. What pager? Same thing. It's
They're the same, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a week, and they are turning their war to the north. 80,000 around Israelis have been displaced because Hezbollah started sending roughly around 8,000 rockets since October 8th into Israel.
Real quick, because I'm not laughing because of your information. Sorry.
No.
But Juan just wants to know if Rob is on Twitter. He must stalk. He means follow him. So if you have any social media, Rob, you're gonna have to put it in the comment section before we jump off tonight.
You got it already now.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. Back to my fault. Just wanted to get that out there. So
No.
go ahead.
Juan, you can absolutely interrupt peace in the Middle East, man. Let's do it. Get that,
Man,
Get that.
I don't think
get
this
that-
conversation is going to bring any
Hey,
peace in the Middle East.
hey.
Getting
I
them
don't know.
DMs, baby. Getting them DMs. That's all I got to say.
Hey,
Yeah.
this could be that don't look up moment. You know what I'm saying?
Don't look up. Are you talking about the
geez.
movie?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was such a great movie.
Oh, I
That's
loved it.
literally what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
There's a lot of things happening
That's
right
that,
now.
but
Well,
that's
then
what
talk to
made
any
it great
Trump
because
supporters.
you're
They
sitting there
literally
watching.
won't look up. Not
Yeah.
one of them will fucking look up.
But that's
Yeah.
why it's so good because you're looking at it going, "Oh, this is us. This
the
is
new
Right.
idiocracy.
this is our
It's the
future."
the new idiocracy is
Yep.
what it is. It really is on point.
There just has to be less of them. That's just all I'm saying. There has to be less of them.
With back to this
Yeah.
horrible situation that we're talking about is Hezbollah has been egging on Israel for the last almost year, right? This massacre takes place on October 7th with Palestine, and then October 8th is these missiles, and they haven't stopped.
Yeah.
And literally, Israel has said, like, let's find a peaceful resolution. Let's do this. And Hezbollah has made it very clear. They will not stop until the war ends in Gaza. And yet they started before Israel actually had a response for Gaza for October 7th. And so it's blurred lines. And one of the
on
biggest
both
things,
ends, though, on
Both
really
ends.
on both ends.
both ends. But then there's an element where Hezbollah, killed these 12 children playing soccer in Israel that were Muslim. They were Druids, and
Sure.
they
But Israel did
killed-
the same and killed some of the hostages while they were trying to protect some of them. I mean, listen, it's that back and forth ongoing thing for hundreds of years.
I don't know what that statement is, but at the same time, in this context of just attacking, civilians, not military bases, nothing like that.
That's what Israel did. Israel killed 3 of the young. What were they? When they were captured, there were 100+ captured people. 3 of them. This is like.
Are you talking about their own hostages, or who are you talking about?
Yes. There's Israeli hostages. They killed them by accident. Israeli forces killed these 3 Israeli hostages that were
bombing.
Right. I'm saying
in Gaza.
Yeah.
Yes.
But these weren't hostages, Rob.
Well,
these were just,
here's the thing.
These were just children playing soccer.
Here's the thing, though, guys.
But I'm saying it keeps going back and forth, though. I mean, there's not one greater or worse or lesser than between the two. It just keeps escalating, and then it's horrible.
You guys
and then it escalates more, and then it's horrible.
The thing is, you guys are both right. And what everybody needs to remember, I think, when we are debating this, which it deserves debate. These type of 100%. things these should be discussed and debated and shouldn't just be let go. But the thing I ask everybody to remember is we're dealing with, and Israel is dealing with, a terrorist group. Much like, and we're very, America is very experienced in this field. So unfortunately, when you're dealing with terrorist organization, they don't go by the Geneva Convention
or rules. Exactly.
They don't care about rules. Matter of fact, the more rules they can break, the better. Like anything that they can use to manipulate a situation in their favor. So all these things need to be remembered, that Israel is fighting a war just like we did at one point, where unfortunately, there's been some collateral damage, and and with every war, in retrospect, could some of them been prevented? Yeah, probably. But here we are, and we need to find a solution to this.
Absolutely.
And
no questions asked.
And when we're having these conversations, we really do. I don't want to say the word like give Israel grace, but we really do need to remember who they're fighting. Like,
listen, I will say this: you are 100% right in a lot of it. The only difference is Hezbollah, who is fucking wrong, right? They're speaking for a group of people who are basically trapped or born into capture. Right. At least that's what their argument is. Right. They're trying to fight for Gaza.
That's what they're using.
For these people that are fucked up. I mean, like, these are people that are stuck in a situation a lot longer than I've been alive. And if you really understand the full grasp of the entirety of what the argument is,
it goes back decades and centuries.
It's hard to really say, like, well, you should give them grace and that grace on my end, because it is so fucked up that I just feel, as if you're looking at a humanitarian's point of view, that everyone needs to stop. Like, it literally, like, they both need to stop killing, because so many innocent people, and not the right people, if there's a right person to kill, are being targeted or even executed. And it seems
like they're being targeted right now with this pager element, because the
but look at all the young kids in Lebanon that were killed because of it. I mean, like, yes, you're right. Like, I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Two children
but
died.
2 children too many.
Yes, 2 children died out of 3,000 versus what's happening in Gaza. And when you look at the bombs, because the bombs were too much, right? That was the element that everybody had an issue with.
I mean, there's already 40,000 people
everybody
dead. I mean, like,
says Hamas, and that's their health administration. So that's a reality that you're facing.
But Israel's saying the same thing in different numbers. Do you know what I mean? Like, who do you believe? Even
as I've always said, you have the worst of both leading this. Right.
Sure.
And there's machismo coming from everybody, where they
100%.
all want to be right.
And Netanyahu's a problem, man. Netanyahu's a problem.
Not only Netanyahu is also
a problem.
The worst people are leading this.
I will say this: how are you going to give Hezbollah money right before October 7th happened, right? Which was, I mean, like, that was horrible. I mean, there's nothing to say about that.
You're talking about,
but he was giving them cases of money.
Wanted there to be a civil war between the PLO and also Hamas.
Right. He was
having them fight each other. Yeah. He thought it's the way I see that, Rob, is
part of the plan.
The way I see that is much like how the Republicans thought they could control Trump.
You're thinking it's a chess move,
we can control this crazy. We'll wrap this around our fingers. And
look at the politics after it all comes out. It not only just a stupid move. How are you going to give money to everything you're fighting against? Do you know what I mean? It just comes
He thought
across
he could control it. He
fucking
thought he had
crazy.
that.
And look what happened. Look what they used with the money, right? Like, it means that
Well, it's not just his funding that came from that. Iran,
no, but they used
Ryan
it
and I
to
have
do
talked
what they
about.
did. They used that money, man. I mean,
Right.
it was absolutely used and just given, not even earned, but given. Like, if
Well,
I was an
there's
Israeli,
a
I'd
lot
be
of
fucking
funding.
pissed at that dude. A
There's a lot of
shitload of
funding
money.
that's coming in
Well,
from Iran, and there's a lot that we have to actually unpack from that, because this is a proxy war for Iran, for the Republic of is it Islam? The Republic of Islam that's running Iran.
I
The
believe
Republic of
so.
Islam, yes, the Ayatollah.
Because
Here's the
literally,
thing.
But
it's 90% uprising, and this is also. Well, go ahead, Ryan.
They're
Go
doing
ahead.
the same shit that America does, though, all across the world. Like that is like literally they're feeding in for their agenda in life. It's no different than what Russia's doing, what China's doing, what America's been doing all over the world. Like that is a common situation between like powerful countries to a less powerful country. That doesn't. America is exactly the same in that regard.
whoops.
In all honesty, to be fair, right? And if we're just being fair, that is all Iran's doing.
Well,
It's not to support Iran. It's not to say anything. I think the whole thing's fucked up and stupid. And coming from Detroit, as all three of us have, we have a lot of friends that are Persian. We have a lot of friends from the Middle East. We love these people. They are amazing people with an amazing culture that taught us as Earthlings a shitload, like arithmetic.
I'm glad you said that.
You know what I
actually.
mean?
Yeah.
They're important people to have in the world, as all people are, to be honest. But in this situation, and I know America, as I am for Israel, I have to say, as a person, just a citizen in New York City, they need to chill the fuck out, because it is. I know. I think what they're doing is brilliant, but I think that they are way too advanced for the war.
It's past helping the cause.
It's not. Of course, it's not helping. It's making them look worse. They look horrible now in the public view.
But did I already say? The people of Israel aren't. I don't think the majority of the people of Israel are behind Netanyahu.
100% not. That's why
it's just the it's kind. What's interesting?
It's the conservative right on their end who has all the power, just like in America. And it is the same shit where the majority does not get the right respect that they deserve, like we do.
There's a major disconnect that takes place when you're looking at the settlements that are in West Bank, which is like totally messed up. Like that's a situation
totally messed up.
We as in what we do fund and what our taxpayer money does go to, that's something that we should really be talking about. Full stop.
But Israel has no problem continuously to this day taking that land, which is part of the fight,
part of the conservative movement that's within their government. That is absolutely
that's right.
And that's the part that's so messed up. And Ryan, we talked about that where, we've had the conversation about, land grabs and this and that.
Yep.
But when you're talking about fighting Hezbollah, which has literally started its own war, because Israel's fighting 7 fronts right now. Like that's something that we don't talk about. Everybody's talking about, this genocide and everything, but it's like they're going through war right now. And war is ugly as fuck. It is. Yeah. And when you're looking at that, everybody in the West, with all their privilege, us right here on a podcast in New York and Arizona, seeing no war at all, not having any discomfort. Our kids are going to bed safe. Our couples are fine. We can go out tonight. We can do whatever we want with no worries. Have all this to say about how they need to handle their situation when they are literally surrounded by a threat. And the fact that they were going through this and they did this attack on Tuesday with the pagers, I have to say it was brilliant. It was well played out because Hezbollah thought, okay, we won't have cell phones, so therefore they can't survey us. So we're going to go analog and use technology that is not going to be picked up by their information. They just didn't realize that shit was going to be booby trapped. It just wasn't on anybody's mind. And we're talking about a whole new generation now that sees a cyber warfare that's taking place. Like this is, to be honest, this is wild.
The Israelis have been doing this. Israelis have been doing this since the 70s after the Olympic attacks when they got the assassin. I mean, they are proficient in this. They are brilliant.
Let's not act like it's just Israel doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, no. But what they do, like, who has heard of that kind of tactic today or ever, really? I mean, like, we lost Ian.
He froze. There he goes. You're back.
Antifada was a lot of buses blowing up and cafes blowing up. They've been assassinating each other left and right, back and forth for the last millennia. I mean, that's there.
But this was a
But they've
whole
gotten very
nother
creative. Yeah.
technique. This was very
Well, and
very
they flex their muscles too, I think, today by doing it
Yeah.
again
yeah.
with another set of technology. Basically, I mean, same basic technology, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the pagers you're not safe from.
Oh, yeah,
you're not
right.
safe from the walkie-talkies either.
They fucked up
Yeah.
their psychology big time. I mean, their psyche is
How are
totally
they? I mean,
screwed.
it's not
Well,
that.
this is-
How are they going to communicate?
Well, no, this
You
is
can't communicate on walkie-talkies without
Right.
worrying if they're going to blow up in your face.
They're
You
going-
can't use pagers without
they're
worrying
going
if it's
to
going to blow up
pigeons.
on your head.
They're going to go
Exactly.
to pigeons. They're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Watch.
Cuckoo,
You're going to have snipers
cuckoo.
taking out pigeons. Watch. It's going to happen. It's one of those things where I have to say, this is what actually made me really think that they're going to go to war, because they completely disrupted their entire communications.
Yep.
They
That's
said,
right.
okay, we're going to throw you guys all off. And
In
like
a
That's
matter
right.
of 3 days.
psychological.
That's why I
and
say
within,
it's
boom,
brilliant.
back to back to back to back. And now they're taking out leadership, which is what Ryan said for today, where they started making airstrikes targeted to specific people who are in position where they were the ones that were directing and executing all these, this assault on Israel.
And can I-
But their goal right now is to retake their north and set up their boundaries and make sure that they have their area back, because they're trying to put their civilians back into their homes again. So it's
Right.
it's a number of things that have taken place, but they really did line this up. And
My only critique about
wild-
it is that
it's
they never
wild that
know
it
who
worked.
has like the pagers, who has the walkie-talkies, right? Because
People
it was
didn't even
some
know
other
who-
third party that was used to
they're
Put
all
this-
Rob, they're all pointing the finger at each other. Taiwan is pointing over here. At
Oh yeah, no, I
Canada,
know, I read all
Canada's
that.
like-
What I'm saying is that it's all out there, just like in Vietnam, where you have a lot of these bombs that are in the sand and in the jungles that all these kids for the last 60 years have been stepping on and blowing up their limbs. Do you know what I
The
mean?
only people
Like
who
it's-
have these pagers are Hezbollah. There's no children who have this.
but it killed 2 kids, though. Do you know what I mean? Like it killed people in.
Two kids who were probably with Hezbollah, meaning.
And listen, you
the
can say it's
child
only
up.
Hezbollah that has it, but nobody knows that for sure. There's not
That-
one person that knows
here-
that. Like
that-
if it's a
that's who
giant
the
crate of
target was.
300 bombs that are able to be like disguised as beepers.
It's more targeted than that,
Anybody-
Rob.
anybody
You're
could-
generalizing it, and it's more.
I'm
targeted
not
than that.
generalizing it. I'm saying what could have happened, and it probably did happen. Like who
It's not
knows?
what could have
It's not
happened.
generalizing.
what
It's totally
did
a
happen.
potential. And if a potential is
3,000
a potential in my mind, it's a potential that could probably have happened in real life.
3,000 of the 5,000 that were actually sent to Lebanon have been targeted, used, and went off. So either the person didn't have it on them or they discarded it, whatever the case was.
But that's what I'm
People
saying,
did-
though. That's what I'm
people
saying.
did
It's
feel
kind of
it. People
careless.
did
It's a
feel
little.
it heating up, and they discarded it. They threw it, and then it blew
Yeah.
up.
It's
but-
brilliant. I'm saying
but out
that
of
it's a little
37
careless, but I think it is brilliant.
So
I
here's-
absolutely 100% disagree with you about being careless. This was pinpointed targeting where you're talking
But
about
here's-
2 children, which is really tragic, out of 37 dying, and literally shy of 3,000 people being wounded, who you're now taking off the battlefield while they
Yeah.
go in here to have this fight for this war that's coming.
Great.
Now,
I
here's
disagree,
what-
but I
here's-
hear you.
Here's what I want to leave as the exclamation point on this, is that there are a lot of similarities between what's happening now over there and some of the stuff that we did in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes,
Interesting.
exactly. And now it comes
So-
across 30 years later, 20 years later as like,
But
A facade, a makeup.
it feels like we're being hypocrites
that's what
by
I'm, yes.
you know
Yes.
yeah
Yes.
I
It's
feel
hard
that.
for us to
I feel
stand on
that.
our 2 feet and support this shit after everything that happened after 9/11.
Well,
It's just-
Joe
and
Biden
I-
did
but
say,
Ian will
don't
tell
go down
you-
the path we went.
And I was about to say, Ian will tell you, I said that when this was all starting to kick off, I was like, it sucks because it really feels like we did not learn anything from our response to September 11th.
Yeah.
And, it was like Israel had their own terrorist attack, that was just as horrible. And it's like,
So they get their response.
But who-
Is that what you're saying?
who
but it
told us?
was just like, it was just watching it spin up in the days after. It literally reminded me, I'm like, they're going to make the same freaking mistakes we did. They're claiming this war against terrorism. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, that's such a vague mission statement. And,
Yeah.
it's like the world didn't learn from watching what America did for 20 years. It's like,
I will
we
say
just
the
got
world
done
did
screwing
say
things
to
up in
Israel-
Afghanistan. Let's move on to Israel and Gaza and the Palestinians,
But But the world did say it, though, especially America. They said, do not make the same mistake. As awful as this is, and it was fucking horrible. And I even knew people that were at that event.
And they're making the same mistakes.
But
And they still are, though, because it is their land, it is their government, it is their right to protect themselves however they see fit. Now, unfortunately, we happen to have a purse involved, right? So if it goes too far, we might have a say, which we apparently do.
So
that's the big thing that I always ask is who told us how to fight our wars?
Yeah.
Who is it in that situation that's like, America, you can't do that?
Nobody's going to tell America shit. But also, America doesn't need their money, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Well, we were definitely losing in COVID when we needed a lot of supplies.
So, but the
whole world was. Are you kidding me? The whole world was dying.
All right, let's get it under control here. All right. I think what we need to remember is that there's a lot of terrifying shit going on right now. So there was a strike in Syria. One of the sites targeted was a research center used in the development of chemical weapons. War Monitor said. Syrian officials said civilian sites were targeted. Israel regularly targets military sites in Syria linked to Iran and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Those strikes have become more frequent as Hezbollah has exchanged fire with Israeli forces for the past 11 months against the backdrop of Israel's war against Hamas, a Hezbollah ally in Gaza. Western intelligence agencies have previously alleged that a branch of the Scientific Studies and Research Center near Masyaf has been used to produce chemical weapons in violation of the Chemical Weapons Convention. The Syrian government has denied the claim, however. However, the facility was reportedly targeted in a suspected Israeli strike in September of 2017, a day after a deadly chemical attack on a rebel-held town in northern Syria that the UN and Organization of the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons concluded was carried out by the Syrian Air Force. So this was a well-known manufacturer of chemical weapons that they hit. I think that's the thing we need to take away from it. And on top of it, in Ukraine, they hit a massive Russian ammo depot.
Yeah,
right.
So there's a lot of
that footage is wild.
That footage it looks like a freaking nuke going off. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, if you didn't hear about it, I actually looked for the footage to put on, but I couldn't find any good ones. It was all like from TikTok videos. Okay. But there is footage out there you can go see. It looks like a nuke going off, and they did it with
the mushroom cloud.
They did it with drones, which is just
insane. Right? Just insane.
So I don't trust pagers. I don't trust drones.
I don't trust my cell phone. I don't trust this microphone. What are you talking about?
Hey, hold that mic. Okay,
I'm telling you,
that mic.
You take that. You're gonna find me in a hole underground. We're
gonna be doing this show with a cup and a string.
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna do this from here on out. It's like, here we go.
But I mean, seriously, that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah,
we're dealing with possible chemical weapons. We're dealing with technological warfare that I think this opened up even, people like mine. I know this stuff exists, but it's like to watch it all go down and on a mass scale, it's just like, wow, this is pretty terrifying that this can actually happen.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Skynet is here, man. Skynet is here.
It is, man. So, we're in that. We're living that now. And I think a lot of us are starting to finally, catch up maybe to Gen Z and go, oh, yeah, this is terrifying. Great.
Yeah. I mean, all the things in movies are coming out to fruition, right?
Bro, tell me about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just had a civilian do a spacewalk this week, right? Like, how crazy is that?
Was it? Who did they do it with?
That was SpaceX. The first
the first dude. Non-astronaut went in.
Yeah.
And then went out into space.
New SpaceX suit, right? That's a new SpaceX suit.
And with the new suit, which is like mind-blowing to astronauts. Astronauts are like, I want that suit.
It's just a rich going either deep down to
the
die.
The thing is, you can only move your arms like this, so you're trying to catch on to anything. You're fucking lost to space.
I'll tell you what, you want to impress me, start feeding kids in school, start, putting veterans in homes. Stop playing stupid.
Walls,
you want to go walk in fucking space. Build a car with a bumper that doesn't fucking fall off in 5 years. That'll impress me.
After the first hit, thank you.
I think that's
No,
a shot at
100%. Like, how much is it for one person to go into space out of these billionaires? It's like $3 million to go in.
Can Elon go up there?
Yo,
Just
man.
He does.
And when he goes up there and the door shuts, just fucking take off. Just leave his ass.
Just like throw it in there, one-way ticket,
I'm telling you,
ET phone home, man.
right
ET
to the
phone home.
moon.
dude.
You know, honestly, he'll feel like going home. He needs to anyway.
He needs to go back to South Africa is where he needs to go.
And honestly, I think he's from.
Did you go
I'm pretty
full
sure he's
circle?
from
You
another
got-
planet. He kind
Bro,
of comes
no,
across.
I've been telling him to get the fuck. I've been telling him to get the fuck out of my
country.
country for the last 3 weeks straight.
Yo, man.
I'm like, you know what? Anybody that supports domestic terrorism, felon, a rapist, an accused pedophile, and all that shit for president, you can get the fuck out of my country. Oh, and by the way, you used to be an illegal, and now you spend all your fucking time fear-mongering over illegal immigrants that were just like you. So it's like watching him pull up the ladder behind him after he did the exact fucking same thing that he's accusing everybody else of. Oh, simultaneously using all the immigrants to say that all of them are going to vote Democrat and fearmonger every Republican into donating and thinking that every Democrat and liberal has come to take their guns and take their homes and take their money and take their cars and take their rights. Like, it's just so insane to me that anybody worships this guy. If you listen to him talk, you understand that he has the education level of a fucking 7-year-old. Like, he can't even put a coherent sentence together, and these people are talking like he's some genius. No, he's not a genius. He bought a fucking car company, kicked the 2 people out that made it what it was, and then ran it into the fucking ground, and now it's a software company. So, well fucking done, Elon
You got a
Musk.
Ryan rant. But Ryan, it's all about the complexion. He's only pulling up the ladder on what complexion.
I mean,
immigrant is
do you
it?
guys notice it's the people from fucking
South
Germany,
African.
South fucking Africa. It's like all the people bitching about immigrants are the immigrants coming in and taking all the money and resources and jobs. Like, stop giving Elon Musk taxpayer dollars to fund his fucking failures.
Billions in subsidies from the American
And then
government.
what did he do with the billions, Ian? He invested it into fucking Bitcoin.
Yep.
To keep Tesla afloat. And then,
Afloat,
no, hang on, I'm not done. And then when he invested all of Tesla's money into Dogecoin and Bitcoin and a few other cryptos, what did he do? He spent all of his fucking time going online on Twitter and any other platform he could, but mainly Twitter, and literally manipulating the market by his posts. And when it would go up because of what he would post, he would sell at a freaking amazing profit, watch it go back down after he was done, buy some more, go on and post again, watch it skyrocket, sell it, and then he'd
repeat. That's right.
Dude, he did that shit for a year and a half, and he's about to do it again because him and Donald Trump are coming out with their own cryptocurrency.
That's
know, rinse and repeat, because since too many Americans keep falling for the same shit, they're just gonna keep doing it.
That's right, because they found their audience, and these 2 clown shows are just doing their acts just to get that money. I mean, honestly, they don't have no care for anybody's well-being or future in their retirement or child higher education. I mean, it is literally just to make the poor people take all their money. It's just taking all of their money.
It's even worse than that. Like, Elon Musk is the worst type of person. Like, he moved the headquarters of Twitter out of California and moved it to Texas, all because he's a petty bitch.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, oh, so you just looked at, whatever employees you had left and said, either you relocate or go fuck yourself.
Right.
And then on top of it, Mr. I want my $53 billion, $57 billion bonus, literally had to be sued by the people of Twitter that he fired because he owed them for bonuses.
Right.
Which, thankfully the judge gave them their money.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's like Elon Musk screws people and then cries like a little bitch and clutches his pearls when even something remotely close to accountability reaches his fucking desk.
Right. Yeah. Because he's a little bitch. They all work in the same circle, right? They all run in the same tribe. They're all very much whiny, wealthy, unfortunately, white men.
So speaking of little bitches, a Kentucky sheriff today walked into a judge's chambers, got into an argument with him, and then killed him. Letcher County Sheriff Sean M. Steins, 43, whose role made him responsible for judge's personal security, shot Judge Mullins after an argument inside the judge's chambers. What?
What was that
the
argument?
And that they haven't released that yet. So like he turned himself in. There was no fight. He literally was like pretty much, I guess, just walking. He's like, yeah, I just fucking killed him. What the fuck?
Wait, I'm sorry. These are two judges?
No, a judge and a sheriff.
And a sheriff.
The sheriff shot him. Yeah. It's like, I'm listening to Bob Marley in my head right now.
What was going on?
I was just thinking,
I shot the sheriff.
I was like,
but how do I turn it around?
I was like, no, but judge doesn't sound as good. I shot the judge.
Yeah, I shot the judge. No, yeah, it doesn't work.
What is no, but it's Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, I have a really dear friend who was a judge in Mississippi. All right, she is brilliant. She is fierce. She is well loved in both the political and public eyes or views of the state. She's actually Patrick's cousin. Her name's Gay. She's amazing. All right. I have to tell, like, when her and I was talking on the phone, or Marco Poloing, which is an app where you can just send messages to each other back and forth. She's always having either a police officer or a sheriff coming to her house to ask her for, like, basically permission for, like, either information coming in or going out to either arrest someone or get something done within the police's perspective, just to get their job done based on the information given to them. Sometimes she has to say no. Sometimes she has to say yes, based on how her, not just interpretation, but her understanding and what she went to school for as a lawyer and in law, and how she was elected as this judge for many years now. She's kept this seat for many, many years. I understand how there could be an argument between, after our many years of conversation now, a conversation and an argument between, like, somebody, let's say a killer in their community, and the judge says, no, you did this wrong, and you have to do it by the law. Otherwise, I cannot give you the permission, because everything is by written law, which is what the law enforcement has to abide by.
Right.
So the judge is their overseer. So if that goes awry and the sheriff or the deputy or whatever, I don't know what they're like, just regular foot shoe, gum shoe, whatever they call them, but lower than top comes up, and says, no, we need to arrest this guy. And they're like, no, you didn't do this right. You can't arrest him under these circumstances because you did this and this wrong. You pulled him out of the car. You weren't supposed to do that. You're not allowed to do that under certain circumstances, which is something that her and I just talked about even, which had denied the cop.
This is how you also get the Breonna Taylor, where they, the cops made up false allegations and got the permits with the judge to then execute said warrant, but that the information that they put in there was misleading. And so
100%,
therefore, this is what led to the situation, which is why these cops were also tried for false, documentation, and then also creating this false warrant, which
they got off, by the way.
And they
got off.
Yeah.
And they got. But my point is, so if there was an argument between the sheriff who was trying to fight for his people and the judge is like, your people, we don't know yet. This is just me speculating, but it could be anything. Literally, the man could be sleeping with the other man's wife, right? It could be anything. Yeah. All I'm saying is that I can see where the escalation could have happened to where it was like, you're wrong. And what state are we in? What are we talking? Like, where's it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This could literally be in the rural areas where, just like Mississippi,
it is a small town.
Yeah. Where the sheriff feels like he has the most power, especially over an elected judge, versus a sheriff that was appointed by.
Also elected. No, he's elected also.
Not all of them. Some of them are appointed by governors.
The sheriff is elected.
I think most sheriffs have to be elected.
Yeah. The sheriff position is an elected position.
Let me see.
Not all of them, I don't think. But I didn't read this article, so I have no idea. But all I'm saying is that either way, there is a power struggle always between one and the other. From my understanding.
Something interesting definitely went down, and I'm sure he's going to tell us. I'm sure that we'll find out.
I mean, this is brand.
They have investigative reporters.
This is brand spanking new, and the reality, and I always say this to Ryan, is that I wait until the information comes out on this, but it's like it's a travesty that this happened in a small town.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
I mean, either way, it's weird.
Well, what laws are going to change now? Will sheriffs or any officers have to leave their weapons outside of the office?
I mean, bro,
because this was in his chamber.
But
not in a like open carry.
How are you supposed to trust any law enforcement anymore?
It's just a one bad apple.
Yeah, no.
It's just one bad apple.
The whole tree is rotted to the roots.
Something's going on. And maybe it was corruption within the police station in the
Yeah.
sheriff's office.
Yeah,
You know,
which
I mean, who
happens,
knows?
man. We know what
Who
happens.
knows? And he may have been saying,
Yeah.
you know what?
This is all
we have
just us
this information
speculating
on
for
you.
sure.
All
And I say that out
Total
front.
speculation.
Yeah, 100%.
The thing that was wild was listening to the younger sheriff, or the younger officers who were like, we had to arrest him. You know, I can't give you any information right now at this point. And it's like, clearly it's all tight-lipped, and it's just like, okay, we have him, and now he's in jail. And here
You know
we
what they're
are.
not
sure that was
saying,
tough
though?
for
They're not
them,
saying
too.
that this
Yeah.
man has some kind of mental illness, or that he has been on cocaine or marijuana. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not putting on any personal information, giving him like a fucked up picture. Do you know what I mean? They're not building a case that's
His
political.
picture
They're
look,
saying
his picture looks pretty. As soon as I opened it, I was like, yeah, that looks like him.
it looks like, that's about right. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's about right. Let me see if I can. It wouldn't load on the thing, but I bet if I do this, it'll work.
And for A right here is talking about how a local sheriff just told people to dox people with the Harris yard signs.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it.
Okay.
Some of these sheriffs are definitely a little off right now, you know, and they definitely are going down a dark path with Mega.
Yeah,
And-
man. This
and
whole
I
magic
always remind
movement.
people that a lot of people at January 6th were off-duty police officers.
You better keep
Yeah.
that. You better keep that hard look, bro.
Right?
You about to see
Right?
Diddy. You about to see Diddy. Take that.
Ain't
Man, he's
gonna
only.
go
Oh,
well.
no. He's like 6'1". Okay. All right.
Not gonna go well for you, bro.
No.
And sheriffs are elected, so the county-based our head of
That's what I thought.
is it law guys and gals, chief of police appointed. So yeah, thanks Juan.
Yeah, not one media outlet's reporting it. Yeah, because you know what the thing is? Because it completely undermines all confidence in law enforcement.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like if a judge can't trust the sheriff who is supposed to literally oversee his safety,
That's right.
like how are we supposed to trust them from doing something to us?
Well, let me ask you this: if they have qualified immunity, is
Exactly.
the sheriff in the right? If he has, as Trump wants to instate with Project 2025, that police will have unlimited
Yeah, the
qualified
Republicans will
be
probably
safe.
find a way. I'm sure the Republicans will say that it was a liberal judge and he was just doing what was right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's how they think. That's literally
crazy.
how Trump supporters think.
That's
They
crazy.
think it's completely acceptable. That scene, what's the movie? Like the movie Civil War? Have you seen any of that?
I won't watch it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Bro, there's
I
a
gotta check it
couple
out.
scenes in there that are just like, yeah, that's MAGA. They are that crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
It shouldn't be celebrated. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be
Oh, no.
out there to promote. It's like celebrating those the shooters, right? Who shoot up high schools. It's like putting their name out there and trying to celebrate them as if they are now a star, as if this is like the Broadway show Chicago, right? You do something horrible and something to get your name out into the news just to be famous. Like it is. Don't celebrate them.
but you know who I think we should be celebrating right now?
I'd love to hear it.
North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
He's the star of stars, man.
You know,
He's definitely the star this week.
when you get in front of the news and you say anything you're about to hear about me is not real, you know who I am, North Carolina. You know it's about to get bad.
You know everything that's coming out
It's about to
is
get
probably about
bad.
90% accurate.
Honestly, when the information came out that this man goes to basically a strip club 5 days a week and brings a large pizza with him, that fucking should tell
That's
you exactly
crazy.
who this dude is.
That really is crazy.
I
mean,
when you
it
look
gives
at
you
his
such
weight,
a picture
it-
of
it
this.
shows.
I like
It
definitely the
shows.
large pizza. Yeah, I believe that for sure.
It's in the
large
news.
or extra large because he is a big.
That is a
he
big
makes,
boy.
He makes Donald Trump look tiny.
Either way, it's full of meat. I know that much. All right. There's not one vegetable to be seen.
Swimming in it. Swimming.
Oh, I took that a totally different way.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Listen, whatever goes that route, fine for
Hey.
him. But he's disgusting, so I can't imagine anyone touching him. So
So
You go for it, Ryan.
this is, in case you don't know who North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson is,
yeah,
he is, he's our black Nazi.
that's what he labels himself as.
He
So,
literally calls himself the black Nazi. He also said that MLK was worse than a maggot.
Well, Trump says that that this man is
MLK times two.
MLK times two. This idiots.
Which what the fuck does that mean?
We cannot have another mega movement in this country. I'm sorry. They are literally uploading the dumbest people to run this country, and
the best people, right?
And what does that say about their supporters, though? Like, that's your guy? That's your guy.
It is, it is interesting to see that this man literally went on TV and straight up said, "You know me, North Carolina. You know me. Things are going to be said about me, and you know who the real me is." This is shit that came out. Him being on these porn platforms, heavily into
they elected him
heavily into trans porn, and here's this in the closet movement with Mega, where they're projecting what we need to stop this drag queen story time because I need to get my kicks over here, and then start typing. I didn't even know you type in porn sites. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I didn't know there could be communication like that.
Oh, he said MLK on steroids is apparently what he said.
That's what. Yeah. So that's what he said.
Wild. This is wild.
He was on the Ashley Madison site. He's learning German. He's learning German on Duolingo.
Learning German.
Maybe we're following each other.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Oh my God.
Du bist ein Arschloch.
Yeah, ist ein Arschloch, genau.
Just
what a fucking weird dude. But isn't it like they were saying this? In the pundits were saying this earlier today. How does the GOP not fully understand, especially after Herschel Walker, Carrie Lake, like these very, Carrie Lake very well, very bizarre, super weird people who are unelectable. Like, they keep letting this fucking loser go back and forth with, "I'm gonna win, I'm gonna do this, I'm here for everyone," and all of a sudden just lose after lose.
Well, he has concepts of a plan, and maybe they'll be implemented. But it's all about the concept of the plan.
I have a concept.
But
this man sounds so stupid.
Yeah, I have concepts of plans. Yeah, we know that part.
Yeah.
It's just like when he came on and said, "I'm not going to do another debate." It was like, yeah, we know.
Right.
You're in the spin room talking about you won.
We knew that we knew that 5 minutes in.
Spin room.
You know what I mean? To spin your own self.
Listen,
you spin.
No celebrity goes down to the audience. All right, let me tell you, unless you're desperate.
Yep. Nope. That's very good point. So the best part for me, though, is, and this just shows you the type of person that Donald Trump is and the kind of loyalty he shows. Is that Mark Robinson was supposed to speak at an upcoming Trump engagement tomorrow, and he has been asked not to show up by the Trump campaign.
Oh.
Trump team says, no, there's no beef between us. We're all fine.
Right.
Just don't show up.
Just don't show up.
Yeah. Just a little bit of distance.
So, that just shows you Donald Trump is the type of person that shows zero loyalty and will literally throw you overboard to the sharks the second you become useless to him.
I'm going to tell you now.
I will always say Jeff Sessions proved that in public years ago.
Yep.
This man, Robinson, a.k.a. Black Nazi, just found out how black he was.
Oh,
he thought he could pull that shit. He didn't realize he was already 3 strikes.
He's going straight to the hooker club later on after he loses this election. There's nothing left.
He is actually right now the lieutenant governor of that state. So he's already an elected official. He was just running for governor.
Yep.
Okay. So he's already in a position. And the thing that's here is y'all know what to do in North Carolina. Y'all got to remove this man because he is not your values. This man
and do better.
Do better. Yeah. This man literally is trying to go for that #1 seat of your state and lead you guys. But this is the kind of character who he is. Deep down, you can't hide that. And the thing that I would say to you guys about this election versus 2 years ago or 4 years ago, we're not allowing local media, meaning people in our positions or people who are actually journalists, to let another George Santos in these positions of power by lying and hiding and disguising themselves. So the fact that this man's information got out when it did it is more than enough time for us to now look at the people that are on the ballot to start looking. You guys have a deadline. Brian, I really appreciate that you put out there about national voting registration and voting day.
Yep.
We need to be checking our registration now. Take the time to look at your registration. Make sure you weren't purged. Don't think for 1 second that you can't be purged. It happens.
Yes.
States matter, man. States matter.
Check. Just like if you're checking your status for healthy sex, check your status. This is the thing where you should be proactive and know where you stand right now. And the countdown is coming. We are just shy of 50.
Yep. And since you're talking about October 7th is the last day to register to vote. So if you haven't registered, you're a procrastinator like myself, then you still have a little bit of time. October 7th, and I believe that's everywhere, but check your local state and laws as well, because it may be different in different states. I don't know. But here in Arizona, at least, it's October 7th. So make sure you get out. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. The last story I have on my list tonight is we wanted to talk about Nicole Thurman, who was a 28-year-old black woman who died in 2022. This story is just kind of taking off now because it was recently ruled that her death was preventable. And with all of the laws and going into the election season, of course, this is a huge story. So
and when you talk about preventable, you're talking about abortion.
Yeah.
Abortion.
So
the doctors watched her die.
So what happened was she needed an abortion, but she couldn't get one in Georgia. So she went to another state. They hit traffic, so she wasn't able to get that procedure in the other state. But when she got there, they did give her the pill to start the process of an abortion. So she took that. She had some cramping originally, but as the days, and I think it was actually a week or two, went on, it just didn't get better, and she was getting worse. And so she went to the hospital in Georgia. And long story short, they basically dragged their feet and didn't do anything. They found out what it was, that basically the tissue in her body hadn't gotten rid of it. So she was going into
expelled it.
She hadn't expelled it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was
septic shock.
So she was going into septic shock, and because nobody wanted to do anything because of the Georgia law, and in my opinion, because she was a black woman who doctors historically don't listen to when it comes to pain and things like that.
100%.
By the time they did get into her abdomen and everything, it was too late.
She was too infected. The blood was infected by that point. All of her systems, all her organs were shutting down. I mean, it's no different than having your appendix burst and just having feces all over your system. And all of a sudden they're like, well, it's too much of a mess to clean up.
Yeah, or doctors just waiting, like standing there looking at it.
Just standing there. Like,
talking
where
to
is
the lawyers more than just
how close to the door of death do you have to be is the new question for then a doctor in this position to then take action, right?
Yeah.
We all probably heard about the Oprah and Kamala moment yesterday, right? And this was a huge conversation topic, part of the hours-long Oprah special that Kamala had. And I think Amber's family was even there, right? And they had a full back and forth of how preventable this was. And then even after all said and done, I mean, I don't know if anybody was sued over this. I don't know how this is going to work out for Amber's family.
Somebody's getting sued.
Somebody, like there's no way in our Constitution, the way things work, per state, if we're talking federal, how the fuck any one of these people are not going to give, the ones that were involved with the law or not helping out this young 28-year-old mother of two, or was it one? Either way, she was a
mother of one that was pregnant with twins.
And pregnant with twins.
Yeah.
Just so stupid. So stupid.
So this is the thing where it's like, if that would have been properly handled, she probably would have more kids now. So being pro-life, here we are.
She would be alive.
Yeah.
The death was due to a Georgia law banning abortions after 6 weeks called the Life Act.
Yeah, camp.
So it sounds a hell of a lot more like the Death Act to me.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Like, who's it saving? The child that the Republicans don't even care about?
A fetus, an unviable fetus is what they're more worried about. And this
insane.
is just this is just, highlighting the point that you can't claim to be pro-life when you're literally willing to throw a perfectly good life away, like Amber Nicole Thurman's.
The Republicans should have thought of it like she could pay so much more in taxes if she continued living. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
she was a
there's so many
medical
other
assistant.
ways
She
to
was
look at it.
she was getting into nursing school.
She was. It's so infuriating that I'm having a really hard time with this story, because it could have been any one of my sisters, any one of my now nieces.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just fucking crazy to me.
The wild thing, Rob, because that's what Elizabeth and I went through with our miscarriage. And so it's triggering in that context. The difference is that when we went to go get a DNC, which a lot of people don't, as in that are trying to have these arguments about, well, you're ending a life, whatever. It's like a DNC is an abortion. Like if you take the time to actually understand what is happening here. And one of the saddest things that my wife said to me, and I remember this experience, was that she said she felt like she was being poisoned on the inside.
It is poison.
And but for her to say she's feeling it. Right.
Yeah.
She just felt completely just intoxicated. She felt like this thing was just like,
she knew her body was off.
For the fact that you're trying to create something and to be in that place of creation. Yeah. And then you're in this place where you're like, I need to expel this. I need this out of my body. Right. I feel like it's killing me. I need this gone. And then the system. And my wife works for a great hospital. But the system then threw us to some random clinic to have this DNC. Yeah. So she was by young girls who were there for their own purposes. She was there with other women. And then that's the place where I was protested against, because this individual told me that we have a choice. And I had no words in this place of rage, because also I was not allowed to be with her. Again, this was at just some random clinic. In the back, literally.
But it was during COVID, wasn't it? During COVID or something too?
During COVID, and the place, the rules there, they were just like, no men are allowed in here, because this wasn't the place that was, let's just say, to standards that you would think would be a situation that you would send somebody who was an ICU nurse at the time.
It wasn't Planned Parenthood.
It wasn't a place that was. It literally felt like it was like a back alley. Let me just say that.
Sure.
It got to the point where we went to the doctors, and I walked in, I go, how the fuck does this happen? How the fuck do you send somebody who literally works for your hospital to a place like this where we're being protested against? Yeah. And it's one of those situations where I'm there more for her safety than it is anything.
Sure.
How do you do that to anybody? And then how does this place exist? And this is in New York, mind you.
Yeah.
So how is this very liberal place allow someone to post up directly in front of this establishment to then protest? Not even 50 feet back. We're talking about, well, there are rules of protesting. You have to be across the street, or there's certain things.
Sure.
But in this situation, we're talking about
there assigned space
directly in front. And regardless of that situation, when the individual asked me that or told me that there's a choice, I have a choice. I about lost my shit. I go, well, I have a choice to definitely end up in jail. Is what I have a choice, or to get my wife home.
Do you know?
And that was the main focus.
In the same respect of what you went through, gays, especially during the AIDS epidemic and some of the earlier 2000s, there was a whole church that would go to the funerals of these young men, mostly men who were killed, and protest their funerals. Yeah. As the families are burying them. There's the people, there are really crazy people, man. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that, Ian.
No. That's why we're here. That's why we're fighting.
That's right.
Why we're
to get the message out again.
It
is say you fucking people are horrible.
Yeah. I actually contribute that pain to this movement of linking up with Ryan, doing this show, bringing a voice to this type of pain. And making sure that people understand that we have a better way of doing things, and that we need to get the right people in leadership, because you have black Nazis over here, apparently, who are trying to throw us to the wolves while they sit there watching, their porn that they're trying to ban for anybody else.
That's right.
This right here, though, too, is what's important. The fact that you have 3 men right now having this conversation, knowing how important this topic is, realizing that women are literally losing protections over their bodies, and that it shouldn't just be them standing up for themselves.
It can't be.
It can't be, and if you're a man out there, all these men out there talking about being alpha males, beating your chest, talking about how tough you are. You want to know what's tough? Standing up for the women in your life. That's what's fucking tough.
That's right.
You want to be a tough guy? Stand up for the women in your life that, whether you realize it or not, are sitting there realizing in the back of their head that they're losing rights that they once had in this country.
Yeah.
That's right.
Whether you don't need her to tell you that this is a bad thing. You don't need the woman in your life or the women in your life, your mother, your sister, your aunt, your niece. You shouldn't need them to tell you that they need you to stand up for them.
Yeah.
Be a man and fucking do what is right. And when you get in the voting booth, make sure you vote for the people that actually give a shit. Yeah. Because I promise you, Donald Trump, MAGA, the Republicans, they don't care if your daughter dies because she couldn't get an abortion. They don't care if your mother dies because somebody raped her and she didn't want the pregnancy and she tried. They don't care. Yeah. So stop voting for people that don't give a shit.
100%.
And with that, Ian and I have decided to use our platform in a little bit better way. And we're working with a group called Frontline Repro Freedom Action. That is the name of the nonprofit organization. They're running I guess you call it a campaign called the Vote Repro, #Vote Repro, which you've probably seen me use a few times. And of course, Repro stands for reproduction. Yeah. But that's also their website. You can go to voterepro.org. And when you go there, it's a very simple website, but it's effective. If you need to register to vote, there's an option there and it takes you right to vote.org. And then there's step 2, which is what I really love about the site, is that you can click on a link and it'll take you to help you find pro-choice candidates in your area that you can vote for in this upcoming election. It doesn't tell you who to vote for. It points you in the direction for you to go educate yourself.
That's right.
On potential people to vote for. So It's a great organization. We spoke with one of the founders, so we're actually going to be recording a show with her next week, and we will get that dropped very quickly so it'll be effective going into the election, because we've only got 40-something days here, folks. Yeah. This election is literally right around the corner, maybe 4 or 5 more shows, and we're going to be voting. Yeah. So this is crunch time, folks. I just beg you to please go into the voting booth informed this year. Yep. Of course, we're us on this show. We're pro Kamala, but at the end of the day, I'm just begging you, go in and vote for people that you've actually researched. And when I say research, I don't mean go read the first 3 articles that come up on Google. If they're already in office, go read up on their votes. Go see what they voted for. Go see
Wikipedia is helpful. Let me tell you.
Go see if they voted for anything that actually helps you and your family.
Find out if they have a nickname on the internet that they don't want out there.
Right.
Find this shit out, guys.
What's his name? Mini Soldier. Mini Soldier, Black Nazi. Why is he Mini?
How are you going on a sex site calling yourself Mini anything?
Right.
Yo, hey, everybody likes to be Lil Jon. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man, weird people come from MAGA. Weird fucking people.
This is the point, though.
I'm going to be like Mega Soldier, Big Dick Mickey, something like that.
Right. Mini.
The opposite. You got to throw him
I just think like Minnie Mouse, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
No, man.
Like, you want us to take you seriously?
Oh, man.
Off your scent.
Oh, that's so bad.
But Mini Soldier, Black Nazi, make sure you know who is there.
Yeah, and who you're voting for. Don't go down ballot.
No, it's one of those things. I remember I voted in the last election, I voted for Republican sheriff because I thought he was doing a good job. Mm-hmm. And I remember having a conversation with my brother-in-law because we're in the same county. And we were talking. He's like, yeah, he goes, I feel the same way. And I'm like, I'm not going to not vote for the guy, or vote him out just because he's not a Democrat.
100%.
And by the way, that ended up being the right choice. Some shit came out afterwards. It's like, see? But it's just like you said, not every Democrat's good.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Sure.
just a fact. Just a fact.
100%.
Yeah.
You know,
not every human's good. Like it's
well,
the
we're
party
all
line does
we're
not
all
make any
imperfect. Yeah, we're all
100%.
imperfect, but you know, there's a line.
Yeah,
You know,
a moral line. I
don't
say.
expect any representative to be any more perfect than me, and I'm a very flawed individual myself.
Same
But
here.
there's a line that you cross. You know, when you start messing with, you know, domestic terrorism and, you know, things like that, trying to overthrow
People's
the government,
health. Yeah,
you know,
so many things.
trafficking women, you know, things like that.
Well,
you know, then you've crossed the line that,
well,
yeah.
so to speak, right?
Jesus. Yeah. So, but no, that's all I've got for my topics. So what do you guys got?
Well, it's Friday, and we got to talk about Feelings Friday real quick, Ryan. This was a surprise for you, actually. Guys, here on Hold the Mic, and since we have,
I'm just gonna sit back. Oh god.
Oh yes, since we have about 1.5 thousand right now watching us live, here on Hold the Mic, we do Feelings Friday, and we'd like you guys to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We have my brother here. I feel like we're doing like Brady Bunch. Got my brother here right now. He is a great special guest that likes to pop in from time to time. Apparently this episode, it took for, like we said at the beginning, Puff Daddy with the oil. The Feeling Friday that we have here that's going on is somebody, some troll, somewhere likes this show and created a fake account. And the Feelings Friday is my ass this time because that fake account got more followers on TikTok without posting a goddamn thing. And I'm over here struggling, drowning in the algorithm. And I'm trying to figure out what the am I doing wrong. So Feelings Friday is me, and I'm the one who's all deep in my feelings. And I even wrote to Ryan and said, how in the goddamn world is this fake account with 0 posts have way more interaction? So Feelings Friday goes to me. Look, we take shots at everybody. I got the special shot because I definitely got it in my feelings when I read that out loud. So here I am, guys. Happy Feelings Friday. I'm the fool today.
Good for you, Ian.
So
That's
Joe, just so there must be like 12 watching on YouTube. YouTube sucks, but we're broadcasting to 6 platforms right now. So yeah, you don't get to see the whole count there, Smooth Brain. As for that, so what Ian's talking about is I have a couple of accounts that have been made mimicking me, and by the way, did you see TikTok wouldn't take it down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I reported it saying they're impersonating me. And they sent me back a thing saying, we don't see a violation. I'm like, bitch, it's me. Like, what are you people talking about?
Yeah,
it's fucking me.
I'm getting
How does that work?
violations for DMing. All right. Literally back and forth political talk. And they're like, your DM is.
I don't
is
DM
not-
with people. Yep. No. I
Oh
don't,
man, it wrote
Right.
it flagged me. It said you can't be
That's
saying
why.
that shit. And I was
I
like,
can't take a
really?
shirtless picture without them kicking me off.
Oh,
God,
no.
you are
Shirtless
you.
picture should be fine.
Oh yeah.
That's what I said.
Women-
but all of a
women-
sudden, that was my argument. And all of a sudden, I see my friends with their asses out, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
women shaking their ass all over that app.
Oh yeah.
but listen, I think
I'm
it's
about
Fuck,
to
you
be on
got
Instagram
Juan,
right now.
you got
Hey,
Juan in here
Juan, watch
freaking
out.
thirsting
Watch
over
out.
you. Fuck.
You about to have baby oil all over the place, all right? You better
We
watch
could
out,
make
Juan.
we can make money with you on TikTok.
It's that stash, baby.
Money.
Rob, it's that stash, man. I'm telling you. Since that stash came back, high school it wasn't working. Now it's working. for
Dude,
you.
listen to this troll. This is so
I
funny.
grew up. I grew
Deep
up.
voice does not equal intelligence, Detroit hat.
Oh, he's,
I just wish I say
What
it
about-
all the time.
I wish they come up with
funny.
something better.
I
Yeah,
wish they
like
were
it
funny.
just doesn't even come across as like
No.
worth writing. It's just
Right?
stupid.
like you took the time to put that out.
As I
I would
always
be more
say,
clever.
as I always say, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
It's
welcome to the
you're
show.
hanging out,
Appreciate
baby.
the comments, Joe. Keep commenting, Joe.
His
I
name's
love
Joe,
this.
Jay,
Oh,
whatever.
now he's
Joe.
talking. Now he's talking about my wife. Yeah.
Take
It's Joe,
Joe.
Joe the
Enjoy
plumber.
yourself.
Is it Joe the plumber talking to us
idiot.
now? Good.
But no, it's really interesting seeing what's going on. You know, I got a violation on TikTok today. They took down actually a post for a contract job I had,
Oh wow.
and I was like, they said this isn't approved content for advertiser or something like that. I'm like, bitch, I had it approved by the person that is the brand. Like, the brand already approved it. What the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, they already paid me for the fucking video. Like, what are you
Sounds
talking
like
about?
Georgia's voting. It's just like you could flag anybody for anything.
Yeah.
They're voter suppression. It's like, what?
And did you see what they did today?
No. What did they
In
do?
Georgia? No.
So now they have to do a hand paper count.
They're doing that? They agreed to that? Oh,
They actually fucking got it done.
They're doing Florida.
Good luck.
Huh? They're doing Florida.
good luck.
Here we go.
We're going to go with the hanging
I just
staff
need
again.
11,536 votes.
You'll get them with the paper count. You'll get them.
Look, this is what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the actual vote. Kamala Harris is going to fucking blow Donald Trump out of the water in terms of
Totally
popular
agree.
vote. What I'm worried about is these pricks being able to figure out another way to use the Electoral College and all this other shit as loopholes to get this prick back in office.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Like,
They're trying
it's
to find
scary.
with the Electoral College first,
Yeah.
and they are looking at the laws. They're looking at how they
Between
can
that and the
sue.
certifications.
Yes, they're
They've
looking
got
at how
a
they
they've
can
got a
implement.
room. They've got a war room of lawyers right now
Yep.
trying to come up with a plan
Yes.
of how they're going to screw the American people out of
Yeah.
the popular vote and get Donald Trump back in.
While
Yep.
Trump is already bitching about losing the election.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
already setting it up, and not
Yeah.
just him.
Yeah.
They're all setting it up. They're
All
all
of them.
teeing up the freaking the election was stolen. Why is it only that the elections are stolen when Republicans lose, but anytime that Republicans win, the elections are above reproach? Can anybody explain that to me?
They still say it's rigged even when they won. They're
My
like, no,
favorite-
it's fucking rigged. We beat the rigged election. It's like, how?
My favorite is, and I want everybody, if you can, to revisit 2020, where you had Stop the Steal. So in some states they were saying stop counting, and in other states they said he's down. They said you need to motherfucking count, but you need to count.
Keep going.
And so you were getting two different messages. You're like, well, what is it? Is it Stop the Steal or is it keep counting? What the
Yeah.
fuck
Right,
is going on here?
right.
It all
Right,
depends on
right.
how it's going for them.
It all
And that was all in
depends, but
Arizona.
It's so good
And
to watch
Georgia.
them run around with like a chicken with the head cut off. You know, they're
Yeah.
just full panic mode. you know?
It's just so distressing after
It's-
watching
yeah.
6+9 months of the cyber ninja debacle here in Arizona,
Oh my
where
God.
by the way
Yeah.
they found less votes for Donald Trump when they were done and
That's
more
right.
votes for Joe Biden,
Biden,
when they were
yep.
done with that 9-month millions of dollars
Yeah.
long bullshit. 60+ court cases Donald Trump's campaign has lost
Yeah.
from all 50 states.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, this is insane that we're even still having this conversation. Matter of fact, it's insane that this man is even allowed to run. He's a felon that can't own a gun and can't vote, but he's going to be the fucking president?
You know what's crazy is
And-
that he lost 60 times out of 50 states. How stupid is that?
I just can't. Like,
Math ain't mathin' for a mega.
Math
That's not
ain't
math.
math.
It doesn't make sense, brother.
but it's
How
like
you losing
these,
more than the states we have, my
these
man?
people just don't care. You can show them every bit of evidence. You can show them court documents. You can show them videos. You can give them audio tapes. You can
Fake
give them
news.
anything, and they will find a way to dismiss it.
Yeah.
And
I
that
didn't see it. That's not real. This,
that
and the third.
that makes them the most dangerous and dumbest people on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
thank
at this
God
point,
that's
in
who we're going to be
2016,
fighting
you
in
can forgive, right? But now,
I'm just glad
at
that's
this
who we're going to
point-
be fighting in the Civil War, because they're
And-
so fucking dumb. We won't even need pagers and
Well,
walkie-talkies.
here's the
We're just
thing.
going to need to give them the wrong fucking directions, and they'll go walking off the fucking cliff.
It's these Republicans who keep on trying to kill him too. That's what's so funny about
Yes.
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
it ain't even
They are
Democrats.
screaming
It's not
at
even
these
Democrats. We don't
It's
even
like
own the
they
guns.
voted
Here's the
for
thing. We don't
Trump.
have the guns.
Well, incorrect, Rob. Ryan
No,
got
I
the
know.
gun.
That was a joke.
But isn't
But
it?
my
isn't
point
it-
is,
so does Kamala Harris.
Don't call him in some walls.
all of my
In some
Democratic
walls.
friends other than here in New York. But I'm saying it makes no sense, their perspective on what's going on in the world and how they are trying to bring the light up in what they think that the world is like,
project,
right?
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, why is no one shooting Kamala? Because she's fucking amazing.
Yeah, that was Elon. Yeah.
Like, what the hell's
JD
wrong
Vance.
with you?
That was JD Vance and Elon Shead
Yeah.
who posted it. And it's like, wait a minute, you're
Well,
vice
Elon
president?
Elon tweeted out on somebody else's post. Like,
Yeah.
it was fucking crazy. Like, and
What,
then he
in
went and
that
deleted
context?
it, and then he went and made 2 posts. The first post was, I guess when you say something to a group of people and they laugh doesn't mean it's funny. And it's like, so you mean when you have a bunch of yes people around you who laugh at every fucking dumb thing you
Right.
say because you pay them? You mean that might not be a good fucking temperature meter for is this funny or not.
And
then
Elon,
he
you're
said
not funny.
Yeah, it's like try being funny first. That's the thing. His personality is the personality of this fucking highlighter. And that's the problem with Elon Musk is that this highlighter, not only is it smarter than he is, but it also works better than a Cybertruck. So,
and as I've always said,
it's more functional for sure.
Trump is the Mr. Magoo of all this shit, man. He's just
but he's worse though. I mean, like a little racist, nasty Magoo.
Oh yeah. But just missing all the bullshit. It just keeps on just
But do you ever notice how they use black people, like Robinson and but they use them for the elections, and then as soon as they get in, miraculously, you go look at Donald Trump's cabinet. Did you see much diversity in that motherfucker?
No, I saw white.
It was Condoleezza Rice, who was the Secretary of State.
Condoleezza Rice wasn't under Trump.
I'm sorry, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley. She was the Secretary of State.
Yeah, but she looks white, so he doesn't care.
But that was between that and Ben Carson. Those were the only two people of color at the time.
Yeah. Well, she had Omarosa, but she only lasted about 6 months.
That was at the beginning, right?
Yeah, and she got married at the White House and then was like, deuces.
That was it. And then she went right against him, like full on against him.
I actually gained a little bit of respect from her because, but honestly, when I went and listened to what she had to say, she sounded like somebody that actually was just kind of like, yeah, that got crazy real quick.
But she said it on TV while she was doing Big Brother with my friend Frankie. And on top of it, she only said it after she got fired. She did go right
into Big Brother, didn't she?
Which is crazy. Right, yeah. She's going to do it just to get publicity. Like, the whole thing's crazy.
Well, just cloud chasing, man.
I think it's hard, like, when that's what you're built on, as we're out here clout chasing for our podcast.
There it is.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone. But no, I think... it's just interesting because that's everybody around Donald Trump. That's what they are. They're all just projected empty, suits and empty wigs.
And yes men.
Yes men and women. That's but that's the problem. Like, you look at every big person that we've ever known, and loved even. Look at Michael Jackson. Part of what killed Michael Jackson was people. Was that he had a lot of people around him that would just do whatever he wanted, no matter what.
That's right.
And at the end of the day,
doctor went to prison for it. That's right.
But even his family, for years, his family was trying to get him help, and all he would do was isolate. He would isolate himself away from people so that and that's what a lot of folks end up doing. Yeah. But it doesn't even necessarily have to be about drugs. Sometimes it's just, I think about those dancers, that those TikTok dancers that they're in that religious freaking cult or whatever.
Oh, on the one that's on the documentary right now?
Yeah, Miranda Derrick or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, even that, it's just, you just never know. And I think MAGA's the same way. I think these people they're in a freaking blood cult. The people that follow them, and then I think Matt Gaetz is it's being proven that he was with a 17-year-old at a sex party. Sure. And I'm telling you,
that's why McCarthy was like, I got some dirt on him, and I'm not gonna stop that investigation.
So it's just like, this is what MAGA's built on. That's why Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, they all have like the biggest, fattest, darkest skeletons in their closet. And they all know about each other's shit.
That's right.
They all have proof. Like, oh, I've got text messages from you. I've got that video of you. I've got that fax you sent. Like, they've all got it on each other, and that's what keeps them loyal to each other. But as soon as one of them, gets caught to the point where it can't be covered up anymore, they cut bait and they run.
They rat. Yeah.
And that's who they are.
It's all like mafia bait. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Until it doesn't work out, it's good for them. So.
But with that, I just want to remind everybody you can go to voterepro.org to register to vote and also to find any pro-choice candidates in your area that you might want to support. And also, please, everybody, October 7th is the last day to register to vote in most areas, so make sure you register to vote. Make sure you show up and vote. November 5th is the day, folks. It is not far away. October is right around the corner. And October will go fast. So we're going to eat our candy. I'm going to scare the crap out of some kids, and then we're going to go vote and make sure that our country stays headed in the direction it is. Because I like when the feds cut the rate 50 points and we have the lowest inflation in 3 years. I think that's a direction I'd like our country to keep going in. So
future looks real bright.
Yeah,
future looks bright.
Point. Yeah,
a lot of joy.
I'll be voting for Kamala Harris. I think I feel pretty safe saying that you two gentlemen will as well. But with that said, make sure you get your ass out and vote. Because if you don't vote, I don't want to hear shit from you about I don't like this, I hate the country. If you don't vote, you don't get a say. Voting is your say.
That's right.
And with that,